A serial unit numbering system is the combinations of serial numbering and unit numbering. So if you understood the difference between serial numbering system and unit numbering system, it is not hard for you to understand serial unit numbering system, because now these are those two unit numbering, those two filing system which are combined are together. So the serial, what did we say about the serial? We say that the serial numbering system, it is a unique number assigned to a patient in every visit, regardless of how many times. A new number assigned to a patient regardless of how many times that person attend the facility. We keep on signing a new number, and that is serial. But then a unit numbering system is where a unique numbering system is assigned to a patient at once, is given once. And once it is given, that numbering system or that unique number is kept to be used for that particular patient or that same patient in every subsequent visit of that patient in that very hospital. For example, if um, this 0, 2, 6 is the serial numbering system, and 2, 6, 4, 1, 4 is unit numbering system. So if we are issuing a serial numbering system, we combine these two numbers together, because the point is serial unit numbering system. So we combine these two systems together. How do we do that? We first write, because the first is what? Serial. We can write it, we can start with serial 0, 2, 6. Okay? And then either we put a dash and we say 2, which is unit, 6, 4, 1, 4. Or we assign it by saying 0, 2, 6. We stroke and we say 2, 6, 4, 1, 4. So this becomes serial unit numbering system. And also this become serial unit numbering system. Okay, which means every time when a patient comes to the facility, you must first of all assign serial numbering system. You must assign it. So if a patient comes and a patient is number 161, you must assign this, because the number keeps changing every time a patient comes to the facility. But what does the principles of unit numbering says? The number is given once and the same number is kept to be used. So which means what will keep changing here, it will actually be the serial number, but this one will keep remaining the same. But this will keep changing. Next week, if the same patient come to the facility, it may find us in number 267, okay? And we will not use this one, okay? Because we have to give the patient a new number, which is today 267. But we don't change this. So therefore, we still bring this one here. You get? So that is how things are done. Hold on. All right. So that is serial unit numbering system. Okay. So I've already given you a very simple means of understanding serial unit numbering system. Okay. So moving forward, we have the advantages of serial unit numbering system. When you're using two systems which is combined, how does it helps? What are the benefits? So the thing is, a unit record is created, which means because in that number, between 0 to 6, which is serial numbering, and 26414, this one, there's a possibility that this number was given last week or last month, or even to many people, which makes it not unique. So what makes this record unique is actually the unit numbering system. And that's why our point says a unit record is created. A one-time records that is going to be kept to be used for every subsequent visit of that patient is created, and which is very important. Okay, so I want you to understand this very well, because when we reach to the topic of conversion is when someone decide to say, the thing is not making sense because this is not even unique, and we keep changing it every time, and the only unique number here is unit. So why can't we change from serial unit numbering system and we remain with the only what? Only unit. That is in the next topic of conversation. I mean conversions of a unit of serial to unit numbering system. Okay, so number two, record retention is easier as record with the lower numbers automatically remains in the what? In the old files. So basically, the retention is the movement of records from actives to inactive file area, or finally, or eventually to what? Distractions. So the movement of those records becomes easier because basically the number will be reducing from larger to smaller. So basically, there are also disadvantages. Number one, there is gap between, which is going to be left between those two numbers. And the time needed for the back shifting is when you want to, because first of all, you must assign the what? The serial numbering system. And after assigning that, you must go into your database and search for the unit numbering system. Remember the policy or the principles. That number must not be shared, or there must be no patient who is sharing one number, who is having more than one what? Number. So basically, it will take you time to verify and confirm if the number is been assigned or not yet. And these same patients have which number. So it will take you time. And that is a problem. That becomes a disadvantage of using this system. Okay, so right here, I got some revision question for you. Okay, define the term record identifications, compare and contrast different methods. So you will pass through that, and then you'll be able to be able to answer them. So that covers the topics that we have so far looked at. So we have discussed unit numbering, we have discussed serial unit numbering system, we have discussed serial numbering, and basically you can be able to give the examples of those as far as you understood. Now, we are here to the topic that I was talking about, conversions to a unit system. And now this could be, you can make it in a way that you can easily understand, conversions of a serial unit system to a unit system. Okay, so that is when we are converting. The word conversion is coming from convert. We are converting the systems of having a combinations of serial, both serial and unit, into a single system where we are going to be remaining with only the unit system. Okay, I believe you understood that, because if you do not understand that, then it's going to be quite confusing for you. All right, so um, the change from one system to another should not be underestimated. What does it mean? You don't need to take it for granted, right? It simply means there is increased workload. If you're thinking of changing from one system to another, there is a guarantee of what? Workload. You get? So basically, you don't need to underestimate it. You must take it as something that is very serious, because serious work, serious work, it means a serious work as loaded. All right. So, what are the steps to be followed if you want to convert your system from serial unit numbering system to a unit system? Okay, what are the steps? Basically, if you want to change, actually, for instance, you are shifting. Maybe you are used to stay in 2 bedrooms, and you want to be staying in 3 bedrooms. So if you are shifting, what is the first steps? Don't talk about paying rent. That is guarantee. Of course, that's the reason why you have another room. Okay, paying rent, or maybe you have constructed another house. But there's a first steps that you will do to make sure that you get there into a new home, right? So the first thing is, first of all, organizing that day, appointing that day that you want to do what? That you want to start your shifting program. Okay, so here we says that select a date to make that change and begin issuing patients new unit numbers on that day. So if we decide and says, okay, from today onward, are we together? From today onward, we are not going to be using serial unit numbering system. Okay, this kind of numbering system, we are not going to be using it from today. All right, so meaning, if any patient comes to the facility from today and is a new patient, confirmed that doesn't have any of this number, we are instead of assigning this number that we used to assign, we are going to assign only 26415. This is now unit. We are going to assign only that from today onwards. That's what I mean. By choosing a day and then you start issuing patients that are new, a new unit numbering system from that day. Because later you'll have to organize a day that will have to come and do the shifting of this number from every file. So meaning you're supposed to be updating, removing this later. So meaning from today, we don't want to create more workload by again continue to give serial unit numbering system, yet we are shifting from the serial unit numbering system to unit numbering system. And I'm pretty sure that that is quite clear for you. All right. Moving forward, step number two, you must check you must check if the patient already has a record. Okay, if the patient has a record already, therefore bring forward those previous records and file them under the new number. Are we together? All right, so what were the new number that we have assigned to the patient today because the patient was new? 2, 6, 4, 1, 4. I mean, today we get 5, right? Yeah, but it's fine. Let it be 4. We can make it 5. That was the number we have given, 5. Okay, so we must confirm if there were records created. Now, if this one was actually a new number given to a new patient today, okay, which means it's a new what? It's a new number and this patient does not have any records with us. It's just starting. But if we have a number 2026, then 2642414, this is unit, right? And then we are changing. So meaning that we are going to write only. We are going to remain only with what? We're going to remain only with it's 2414. Okay, this is the only one. You're not going to have this. So we must check if there were some records created under this number and we bring them together in one folder. That's what I mean by bringing them forward. Okay, let me be able to create something here that can do something for us. I think the writing is going to be there, and spray. Let me do something here first. Oh, okay. All right. This is beautiful now. Okay. So let's move forward. Let's move forward. So you've selected the day already, and then you're trying to see if the patients have records anywhere under the same number, and then you can bring them forward. And of course, the third step is that it would be good for you to be able to be doing the changes as this patient comes back to the facility. You get it? It may be very hard for you to be changing everything at the same time. You want to change all the files in the facility, all over 1,000 files. You can't do that. Why? Because some of these files, you may waste your time changing them, and yet they're supposed to be destroyed because others is moving to an inactive files area and the owners are not coming back anymore. So you may waste times on some of the files. Maybe out of 1,000, only 200 are active records. You get. Later, only 200 will be viewed. The rest of 800 will just be a waste of time. So it is good for those one who may come back, you keep on updating their files. For those one that fail to come back, and then the retentions period catch those files still within the filing area, they move to the next stage of storage, to the semi-active, to active, inactive, and later to the instructions. So you may realize that in that way you have saved a lot of time, right? Okay. Another step 4 is that we talked about master patient index. All right. So therefore, master patient index has to be adjusted, or a new MPI has started from the day 1 of the changeover. Because whatever you are changing, if you are changing the numbers on the files, therefore you're also changing the same numbers from the master patient index. So what you do to the files, what you do to the numbers must be the same thing that you'll be doing to your master patient index scan. So you must also be able to assign, as you are issuing the new master patient index card to new patients, you also do the same thing. Don't give now serial unit numbering system. Just be giving or issuing unit numbering system right from that day. Okay. Number 5, after a period of time, a predetermined period of time, a time that you choose, right, that you think is good for you, and then you realize that the record is still in the whole file, they can be considered inactive. So for instance, you've been changing those one who have been coming back to the hospital, right? And then right now we have like some of the record that we have not touched them because the one has not have not come, and because our predetermined period says that after 6 months or 6 years, this record must be taken to inactive files. So you will grab them and take them to the inactive files, waiting to be destroyed or maybe waiting to be reactivated if at all the owners happen to come back. So I pretty believe that becomes easy for you. Like I said before, it can save you some bit of stress. All right. So moving forward, we get some types of numbers. Okay, so this numbering system we are talking about, even the one we are issuing, right? For example, we just have like 0, 2, 6, 1. We may have like 0, 8. 2, 4, 2. These numbers, they are what? They are of different types. And that's what we want to look at right now. Okay. So we have the number that we are calling, the one that we are calling sequential numbering. Okay. The types of numbers that is called sequential numbering. So the sequential is coming from the word sequence. Okay, so what does it mean by sequence? Sequence simply means that if you the student, you are given number 0, 1. The person who is going to follow you is going to take what? 0, 2. The one that will follows that one is going to take 0, 3. Okay, so that's what keeps happening. That's what keeps happening. Okay, you take 0, 1. I follow you. I am given 0, 2. The other person follows me. Is going to take 0, 3. Okay, so that's what keeps happening. That is what keeps happening. Okay, so we says here that records are assigned a sequential number in a chronological sequence. Chronological, meaning that order by order, okay, following one another, commencing at the first registration. For example, the last number to be assigned was what? 0, 1, 0, 5, 2, 4. That is the last. Okay, so meaning the person who is going to follow that number, the next person or the next patient is going to be given number 0, 1, 0, 5, 2, 5. So what has changed from there? 4. All right, so the next one is what? 5. Meaning the next one that will follow this will be 0, 1, 0, 5, 2, 6. Are we together? All right. So I'm not going to spend much time on that because it's very simple to understand. Very, very simple. So I'm moving forward to Roman B or another types of numbering system, which is what we are calling alphanumeric numbering. Alphanumeric numbering. alphanumeric. So this is equal to what? Alphabet, right? That is alphabet. Then we have, because it is alphanumeric, there is numeric here. Okay, so numeric is equal to what? Numbers. You get that is equal to numbers. So what does this mean? This means that when we are to assign this kind of numbers, there is a combination of alphabet and numbers. So it starts with the alphabet. So if we are giving you the number, we shall give you A, A 9962, for instance. You get? Because this is what? The alphabet. Alpha. Then the rest are what? Numeric. So that is it. Very simple. A combination of a number which contains or consists of the combinations of alphabet and numerics. Okay, so that is how simple and how easy it is to understand that. So for example, you can have a look at this. We have alpha, alpha, and numeric. Okay, so this what happened. You'll be able to assign A 9999 instead of signing what? Numbers only. Instead of signing numbers only, you must make sure that it is consisting of what? The alphabet and numbers. All right, so let's move forward. All right, that's very simple as well, and basically there's a few things that I can talk about there as well. Now let's talk about number 3, relational numbering. Sorry. So relational numbering this word is coming from where? Relation, maybe ship. So which means there is a connections between the owner of this number, between the person and the number. Now let me ask you, what number are you related to any number of any kind? Are you related to any number of any kind? Yes. Yes. And if I say that, what does your mind go to? We have the numbers that we have on our date of what? On date of birth. They are related to us. So those are what we are referring as relational numbers. They are related, the numbers that are related to us. Forget about the national ID numbers, whatever, the NIN numbers. They are not related because somebody assigned them to us. We don't know where they got them from. But the date of birth is related to us. It was the day that you were born. You get that? So that is it. And that is it. So, for instance, let's look at how best we can assign that number. Okay? Now, the thing is that what I was almost forgetting. The thing is that these numbers are actually divided into two. There is the birth number and also there is the birth number. Hold on. Basically, I put it into 1. Okay, just one birth number, and that birth number is what I'm referring to, the date of birth. Okay, so let's look at how this number is assigned, right? So, but first, let's talk about this. Now, rational numbers are numbers that totally or partially have a certain significance in relation to a person. There are various types of rational numbering systems that may be used, including number 1, we have birth number. That's what I'm referring to, your date of birth, okay? Your date of birth, all right? So this number is derived from the date of birth, and that is the number. That means that is a number based on the 6 digits of the date of birth. To those digits, other digits may be added. For example, 2 or 3 digits may be added for the serial number. Okay, for the serial number can be odd for males and even for females. So digits for gender or digits representing a geographical code. For example, we have these 2 numbers here. Okay, so we have, let's look at that very well. We have 06. Okay, then we have 08. Okay, then we have 1991. So what does it mean? What does it mean? The person was born on 6th of August in 1992. All right, that's the date of birth, isn't it? Yeah, that's date of birth. So if a date of birth is generated this way, but if you are writing, you write it without space. 0, 6, 0, 8, 1, 9, 9, 2. So you don't forget about these zeros. Okay, don't forget about that what? Zeros. Now, if this is the father, if that is the father, let me put it here where you can view it clearly. Let me use this board. This is my whiteboard here. All right. So if 0, 6, 0, 8, 1, 1992 is for the what? For the father. Then this represent what? Male in that family. And then we have 0, 4, 0, 2, 1, 9, 9, 5. This is the mother, which represents the female in that family. Are we together? Now, if anyone from this family come to the hospital and you are using a birth number and is a male, is a male, you are going to be adding some digits on addition to the what? On addition to the digits of their father. There are 2 ways of doing that. We may only say that 0608 1992 is for the father, right? So therefore, we have a digits 01. Okay, 01. 01. Now, this 01 may be the one representing the males. So if a son of that family comes, we write the date of birth, 1st of January 2001, and then we had 1. Okay, so this 1 represents a male which belongs to this family. All right, but a clear one that may be simple is this. We write the date of birth of the father when we are assigning a number to the child. 06089992. Okay, all right. So when you write that, and then we had the date of birth of that what? Of that son in addition to this. Which means, because this is the household, because we are going to be filing our records in this case simply using the names, the numbers of the father and the mother. Now this one sounds complicated, but it's very simple. And anyway, you're learning it for formality. Why? Because we don't use that in the facility, but we must be able to know that there is something like that that exists. Okay, there is something like that that exists. You know, for instance, there may be a certain code of numbers given to children from a certain family. And if you choose to use a geographical code, that means you will have to create a code that represents geographical areas. So if I'm coming from Kapsorwa, we have a code. So all my numbers must end with that particular code. You get? Must end with that particular code. Which means that code will be indicating that I am from Kapsorwa. Please, if you don't understand that particular thing, don't even worry about it, because just know about it and read about it, maybe for the purpose of passing the papers. But we don't use this in a facility at all. We cannot be wasting time doing this in a facility. And we have a lot of patients. Also in a facility, we normally focus on the number on the system that we are moving forward. But generally, you must know that there was something like that. Okay, and I want you to read about the advantages of that numbering, that rational numbering system, and the rest. I don't want to spend much of the time there. Okay, yeah, and then maybe I can talk about serial security. I mean, social security number. The social security number is basically used in countries where security is the priority, or maybe the country prioritize security, whereby most of the people have social security number. But in Uganda, we have what we call NIN number, which may serve as the same thing. Yeah, so every person at least must have that in Uganda if you want to be safe, isn't it? So you can look at the what? You can be able to check through the advantages and also the disadvantages as well. So the topic that I'm going to talk about next time is going to be assignment of numbers, which is very important. How do we assign those numbers regardless of the system that we choose to use? How do we assign them? Okay, so I'll be able to continue with you from there. Assignment of numbers in the next lecture. Thank you so much.